If you are well, it is well, and I'm also well. Welcome to the Stoic Cat. Let go of the past and the present. One way to preserve our tranquility, the Stoics thought, is to take a fatalistic attitude toward the things that happen to us. According to Seneca, we should offer ourselves to fate. According to EPICTETUS, we should keep firmly in mind that we are merely actors in a play written by someone else. We cannot choose our role in this play, but regardless of the role we are assigned, we must play it to the best of our ability, be it the role of the beggar or the role of the king. If we want our life to go well, Epictetus says, we should, rather than wanting events to conform to our desires, make our desires conform to events. We should, in other words, want events to happen as they do happen, and not to rebel against nature. We must learn to adapt ourselves to the environment into which fate has placed us, and do our best to love the people with whom fate has surrounded us. We must learn to welcome whatever falls to our lot, and persuade ourselves that whatever happens to us is for the best. A good man must welcome every experience the looms of fate may weave for him. If you have an interest in learning more about Stoicism, or if you want to explore answers to some of life's most significant questions, please continue watching the episode. Also, let us know what you think in the comment section below, and don't forget to subscribe to our channel. Let's continue. We need to distinguish between fatalism with respect to the future and fatalism with respect to the past. When a person is fatalistic with respect to the future, they will keep firmly in mind, when deciding what to do, that their actions can have no effect on future events. Such a person is unlikely to spend time and energy thinking about the future or trying to alter it. When a person is fatalistic with respect to the past, they adopt this same attitude towards past events. They will keep firmly in mind, when deciding what to do, that their actions can have no effect on the past. Such a person is unlikely to spend time and energy thinking about how the past might be different and learn to live in the moment. When the Stoics advocate fatalism, they are advising us to be fatalistic with respect to the past, to keep firmly in mind that the past cannot be changed. The Stoics would not counsel a mother with a sick child to be fatalistic with respect to the future. She should try to nurse the child back to health, even though fate has already decided whether the child lives or dies. But if the child dies, they will counsel this woman to be fatalistic with respect to the past. It is only natural to experience grief after the death of a child, but to dwell on that death is a waste of time and emotions, inasmuch as the past cannot be changed. Dwelling on the child's death will therefore cause the woman needless grief. In saying that we shouldn't dwell on the past, the Stoics are not suggesting that you should never think about it. We sometimes should think about the past to learn lessons that can help us in our efforts to shape the future. Fatalism with respect to the past will doubtless be far more digestible to modern individuals than fatalism with respect to the future. Most of us reject the notion that we are fated to live a certain life. We think, to the contrary, that the future is affected by our efforts. At the same time, we readily accept that the past cannot be changed. So when we hear the Stoics counseling us to be fatalistic with respect to the past, we will be unlikely to challenge the advice. Besides recommending that we be fatalistic with respect to the past, the Stoics advocate fatalism with respect to the present. It is clear, after all, that we cannot, through our actions, affect the present. And if by the present we mean this very moment, it may be possible for me to act in a way that affects what happens in a or even half a second from now, It is impossible, however, for me to act in a way that alters what is happening right now. Since as soon as I act to affect what is happening right now, that moment in time will have slipped into the past and therefore cannot be affected. When Epictetus advises us to want events to happen as they do happen, he is giving us advice regarding events that do happen, that either have happened or are happening, not advice regarding events that will happen. He is, in other words, advising us to behave fatalistically with respect to the past and present. Likewise, just as you cannot welcome a visitor until he arrives. How can fatalism with respect to the present cause our life to go well? The Stoics argued that the best way to gain satisfaction is not by working to satisfy whatever desires we find within us, but by learning to be satisfied with our life as it is by learning to be happy with whatever we've got. We can spend our days wishing our circumstances were different, but if we allow ourselves to do this, we will spend our days in state of dissatisfaction. Alternatively, if we can learn to want whatever it is we already have, we won't have to work to fulfill our desires in order to gain satisfaction. They will already have been fulfilled. One of the things we've got though is this very moment, and we have an important choice with respect to it. We can either spend this moment wishing it could be different, or we can embrace this moment. This is why the Stoics recommend that we be fatalistic with respect to the present. It is why Marcus Aurelius reminds us that all we own is the present moment, and why he advises us to live in this fleeting instant. The advice that we be fatalistic with respect to the past and present is connected, in a curious way, to the advice that we practice negative visualization. In engaging in negative visualization, we think of the ways our situation could be worse, and our goal in doing so is to make us value whatever we have. The fatalism advocated by the Stoics is in a sense the reverse, or one might say the mirror image of negative visualization. Instead of thinking about how our situation could be worse, we refuse to think about how it could be better. In behaving fatalistically with respect to the past and present, we refuse to compare our situation with alternative, preferable situations in which we might have found or might now find ourselves. By doing this, the Stoics think we will make our current situation, whatever it may be, more tolerable. Stoic philosophy, while teaching us to be satisfied with whatever we've got, also counsels us to seek certain things in life. We should, for example, strive to become better people, to become virtuous in the ancient sense of the word, and strive to practice Stoicism in our daily life and to do our social duty. So focus on letting go of the past and the present and try to live in the moment. Until then, take care, and until we meet again.